There's an old saying that's used to express anger or frustration. That saying is, to get one's goat. But as Ayla found out, that saying does great injustice to those cute creatures.
Humans have always had a special relationship with goats. Starting more than 11,000 years ago, we began to domesticate the furry four-legged animal. Some believe the goat was in fact the very first domesticated animal. When the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower, goats were brought along. All things considered, goats are pretty underappreciated by most of us these days. But we're going to try and change that, with some help from Kate Johnson. She owns the Briargate Farm in Longmont, Colorado. And when it comes to goats, she's an expert. Welcome to Teen Kids News.
Hi, happy to be here.
And your assistant today is Shade. Hi, Shade.
Hi.
Shade, milking goats is not something every teen does. How did you get into goat milking?
I first got into goat milking and feeding babies as I'm doing right now when I joined 4-H when I was 11 years old. And I bought my goats from Kate, who was my 4-H leader at the time, and just fell in love.
Kate, are all goats basically the same?
No, these goats that we raise are dairy goats, and they're really being raised for their milk. In fact, we're feeding this baby her mother's milk right now. And so dairy goats are for milk, and then there are also meat goats or market goats, and those we raise to eat them. And then we have fiber goats. Those are the goats we're raising for their hair, and we're going to make yarn or wool out of it. And then there are pygmy goats that are really just cute little fat goats that people have as pets.
Aw, a pet goat? That's cute. So since you have dairy goats, can you show us how to milk a goat?
Absolutely. If you just give us a minute, we'll get her mother in here, and we'll get her set up to milk.
So, while they get set up, we'll take a quick commercial break. Teen Kids News will be right back. Welcome back to Teen Kids News. Kate Johnson from Briargate Farms is about to teach us the finer points of milking a goat. But first, Kate, tell us where you are and about all those awards.
Yeah, so I'm in my milk house. It's just a little shed that my daughter built for me, and it's showing all of her awards. My daughter was the original owner of these goats, and she showed them for years before they became mine.
And now, can you show us the reason why we're here? How to milk a goat?
Yeah, so now I'm going to turn it over to Shade, and she's going to milk the goat for you, who we have on the stand already. Okay, so Shade's going to put some food into the feeder. This is Calypso. She's the mother of that goat you just saw us bottle feeding. And Shade's going to spray a little disinfectant spray just to clean up this udder a little bit. So the udder is the term we have for the bag that holds the milk. So this whole bag here is called the udder, and goats have 2 teats, and that's where the milk comes out. So just as reference, the cows have 4 teats, but goats only have 2, makes them very easy to milk by hand because we have 2 hands.
Do goats mind being milked?
Oh no, they actually love it because they get to be on the stand eating, and then we're relieving all that pressure in their udder, and it feels a lot better for them when we do that.
Are you milking these goats by hand just to demonstrate for us, or is that always how you do it?
No, we always milk by hand. Usually I'm only milking about 4 to 6 goats a year, and it's just a lot faster with that number of goats to milk by hand because I don't have to lug out this big expensive piece of equipment, set it up, milk them, clean it up, and it's also a lot gentler on their udder when you hand milk than using a machine.
How often do you milk them?
So I start out milking twice a day, and I'll milk twice a day through the beginning part of the season, usually until about the time change. And when it starts getting darker earlier, then I switch to once a day.
Calypso looks pretty cooperative. Is that natural, or do you have to train them to let you milk them?
Well, there is a genetic trait that's temperament, and I do select for that trait. So part of it is temperament, but a lot of it is just handling. And in fact, one reason we show our goats and why we have all these awards is just doing all that handling of the goats when you're doing it in the show ring makes them easier to handle in the milk house too.
Shade, what's it feel like to milk a goat?
Well, it's actually not as strange as you might think. And to actually do the action, it sort of feels like icing on cake.
Yeah, so what she means by that is she's not pulling on the teat here. I'll see if I can get closer. She's just squeezing the milk out like you would if you were squeezing icing out of a tube.
Besides drinking, what else do you use goat milk for?
Well, of course, we make a lot of cheese because I run the cheese making school, but we also make yogurt and we make goat's milk soaps and lotions, and we make goat milk ice cream.
Goat milk ice cream? You must be kidding.
Good one.
Just joking. Thanks for showing us how to milk a goat.
You're welcome. Thank you.
When it comes to milk, Americans are in the minority. While we tend to prefer cow's milk, outside the US, goat's milk is more popular. Yes, that's the complete and utter truth. For Teen Kids News, I'm Ayla.